payment and project management for construction industry. So I'm the CTO of the firm. So I'll cover the basic flow of what is the session is about. So I'll just give a brief background of it, like what we are doing and what is the general application of blockchain in construction industry, and then the problem statement we are trying to solve and we are making progress. And then what are the potential opportunities ahead for blockchain when you are focusing on construction industry, and then FAQ section. If you have any doubts, feel free. So just a brief about us. We are a payment transaction using the smart contract based application, mainly focusing towards the construction industry in Singapore. So our platform is also a unified platform for project management and as well as the supplier and customer relationship management. So I'll give you a brief background about like what blockchain is doing and what is the application when it comes to construction industry. So we have different branches of blockchain technologies, which is smart contracts and cryptocurrencies, a lot of things. But if you are focusing towards the construction industry, certain blockchain applications can be very well suited. One such thing is smart contracts, which is what we are utilizing. So smart contracts are basically programs written and stored in blockchain where they get executed when certain conditions match. So that's a simple description. And the same blockchain application can be used to ensure the data transparency and there is a traceability of data whenever it comes to construction projects. Because if you take a typical construction project, there will be a huge volume of data and assets to be covered, starting from groundwork, piling work, up to electrician, or a lot of works are there. So it is very important for the construction developer to have a complete traceability of which work done by which person. And we have payment and project management, which is a crucial aspect when it comes to construction projects, and which is what the problem statement we are trying to solve. So the problem statement we are trying to solve, as you can see from the image, whenever there is a project, be it a private or a public project, the developer will be called for a tender and then awarded to a person, which is the main contractor. So this main contractor is the center of all the entire project, where he will be the contact point for hiring the subcons to get the work completed, and he will be the person for managing the entire funds for the subcontractors and all the other payments. So as you can see from here, with one single person in charge, which is the main contractor, there are often cases where the main contractor uses this project funds into different projects. So ends up the project may be collapsed, or sometimes they have to re-tender it, or sometimes when the business is not good for main contractor, they may close down, which actually affect the subcontractors who technically completed the work but didn't receive the payment. So because of this, there are a lot of business closes down, especially in Singapore's market. So for developers, if such situation happens, they have to typically decontract the project, where the cost will be very expensive comparing with the initial budget. Assuming the initial budget for a construction project is 10 million, and in between maybe 6 months later, the main wind down the company, maybe due to any other reasons, they have to re-tender it. They have to do a lot of reworks, which will cost you more than what is the initial budget. And for the subcontractors, there is a delayed payments, and also they don't get paid if the main contractor winds up. And for the banks, this is a main reason. When it comes to the subcontractor loan, it is very hard for them because there is a risk of main contractor closing down the project, so which affect the subcontractors who worked on it. So often they don't get payments on time. And as you can see from the news clips, late payments is one of the biggest issue that is going on in the construction industry, which is also in top. And if you look at the statistics from last 5 years, there are almost like per annum there are like 2,000 companies are wounded up because of a lot of issues. One such main thing is the payments. When there is no enough cash flow, after they don't have any other options. So this is the main issue that's happening in construction industry. So what our objective to industry is, we are not using any kind of crypto or anything. Rather, we are taking the fundamental functionality of a smart contract, which help us to make sure there is a visibility between developer across the project. So as a developer, you can ensure who is getting paid and whether the paid party completed the work or not, and all those things. And we are using the smart contract in order to automate the most of the transactions when both the parties agree. And this is the simplified version, which is we call it as promise to pay, which is the smart contract name we are using. So in current process, current ground practice, whenever there is a work completed by a subcon, the main con will provide a claim certificate or work done certificate, which basically mention who is the subcon, what is the work completed, and how much is the pay, and all the basic information. So we are turning it as a smart contract, which essentially takes note of the pay information, and then the due date agreed between both the parties. So when the due date comes in, it automatically triggers a payout request to the project funding account, which will be held in the bank to release the payout directly to the subcontractor. So in this case, the subcontractor don't have to get any tutorial or any info about how the blockchain works or anything. Rather, they can just log in. It's just like a normal web application. They can directly log in, they can see the certificate, and if the certificate amount, whatever the certified by main bond matches the work, they can acknowledge it. And on the due date, the smart contract will make sure they receive the money to the bank account directly. And this unlocks the potential opportunities beside the streamlined process, which also opens for a ground for other blockchain technology for construction. For example, when the subcontractor wants to apply for a loan, they can take the same concept as payday loan, which is a practice followed in Western. So that payday loan can be transformed using a verified credentials, which is what like the verified credential explained by my previous speakers. So which banks can utilize it as a collateral, and it also unlocks the opportunity for Hyperledger, which helps the developer or the contractor to maintain the inventory of all the entire construction project at one place and provides a complete visibility for all the participants. And it also opens with the asset tokenization, which is current trend. The entire property can be converted as a digitalized token, or not exactly NFT, but some sort of tokenization, and which allows the ownership sharing. And it's also enabled the cross-border transaction. If we really going to use the stable coins or some similar mechanism, we can utilize for cross-border transaction also. So these are the potential opportunities beside the smart contract, the construction industry alone having it. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, you can ask, reach us at S17. So we'll be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.